Hello, everyone, and welcome to Intuitive Minds by Shelley and myself, where we elevate consciousness globally. We have one of the most magnificent human beings that I've ever met on our channel today, and a warm heart of welcome to Orlando Rojas, my brother from another mother.
The same one, my friend. He's the same mother.
Orlando, I'm going to introduce you first. Orlando is a true advocate for ethical bioaesthetic dentistry, a biological dentist who was born in Bogotá, Colombia, and has been residing in South Africa since 1990. He currently runs the Home of Biological Dentistry from two practices, one in Pretoria and the other in Bryanston. He serves his patients from all over South Africa and the world. And Orlando has done quite a few of my patients that are so impressed with him. In his thesis during undergraduate studies, he investigated the use of white fillings on posterior teeth. Back in 1985, there was a paucity of research. However, investigations originating from Scandinavian countries led him to realize the toxicity of amalgams. Consequently, his university introduced the use of light-cured white fillings thanks to his work. In 1988, he removed all amalgams from his best friend with the intention of resorting his health. He witnessed in awe a complete reversal of his friend's heavy metal toxicity symptoms in a few weeks. This pivotal event revolutionized his thinking, realizing the ongoing misguided teachings. Dr. Orlando Rojas embarked on his journey for the truth in every aspect of life. During his tenure at the Medical University in South Africa in 1990, he realized the crippling effects of naturally fluoridated water in the populations exposed to it. This was another eye-opener. Determined to optimize the standards of healthcare for the communities that were historically opposed during apartheid and did not have access to dignified health services, he co-founded the Dental Care Group in 1994. By 1997, he was running 7 clinics in the townships. In 1999, Orlando Rojas, the singing dentist, was persuaded mainly by the diplomatic community to establish a clinic in Pretoria, and this is how the Home of Biological Dentistry came about. In 2002, Boston-based Icon Dental Implants, accredited by Dr. Orlando Rojas as one of their international instructors, but soon after he learned that most titanium implants contain 6 to 7% aluminium. So, with his mentor, maxillofacial surgeon Dr. Boshoff, they pioneered the use of ceramic implants in South Africa. His philosophy is to provide the highest quality of healthcare through conscious dentistry that will enhance the well-being of those who choose to walk this path with him. His biologically integrated approach to dentistry acknowledges the individual's soul, the physical, mental, and emotional bodies. Dr. Rojas abides by the golden rule: do unto others what you would like to have done unto yourselves. He is blessed to work with a number of healthcare practitioners across South Africa who acknowledge biological dentistry as an essential part of the puzzle to maintain or to return patients to good health. Apart from his role in serving humanity as a light worker and way shower, Dr. Rojas enjoys part of nature, hiking, meditating, offering sound healing sessions, being with his newly found love, his 3 beautiful children, as well as playing with his cats. Oh, he's one of ours. I pledge to continue surrendering to God's will, for I am neither the doer nor the maker. I am grateful for having chosen this work and this life. We welcome you.
Absolutely. Wow.
Now, our topic today is, why should you opt for biological dentistry?
I would like to ask you, can you hear me? Orlando, can you hear me?
Orlando, you're on mute.
Yes, I muted myself because the sound is not good. There is retro feedback. So I could only hear like 50% of the words you said, thank goodness.
Okay, so what I think what we must do is, when we talk, it's normal, and when we don't talk, we must put it on mute.
Yeah.
Okay. Shelley, would you like to say a few words before we start the questions?
You know, I know we're going to ask some questions, but I just want to acknowledge the disciplines of both you men in the gut health and in the oral health, which is the gut health too, and in my field with the subconscious programming and the soul and spiritual. I mean, what a privilege to be coming together to talk together at this moment. And wow, Orlando, I'm really thrilled to meet with you here. So I'd like to kick off with a very obvious question to start the ball rolling, and that is, what is biological dentistry?
Well, thank you very much for the kind introduction, for the question. Yes, obviously everybody asks that question. I use three simple words, and basically I'm not concerned particularly with people's teeth, no? Or whether the gum is bleeding or not bleeding, as important as they are. I'm concerned about the individual who comes to see us, okay? And obviously, we all want to be healthy and joyful and happy. And it's very difficult to be joyful and happy if you're not healthy. So because we identify too much with the body. So basically, the difference is I concentrate on removing infections and metals from people's mouths. By doing that, I am removing obstacles that prevent you from being healthy. So biological dentistry also, of course, includes, in many occasions, the least harmful of materials, or the ones that are not harmful at all. Like for many, many years, I had to settle for the least harmful white filling. They are not as bad as a mercury-containing filling. Thank goodness today, we have modern advanced materials with different chemistry that specifically excluded the toxic ingredients of those materials. So yes, we don't use the standard materials. And that's about it. We clean infections, we remove metals, and depending on the individual, we can restore the teeth we have removed, replace them or not, but that is depending on the individual. So yes, that's biological dentistry for me. It's giving what we are and what we have in the service of the patient for them to have an enjoyable experience at the dentist, because nobody likes going to the dentist. And sadly, sometimes we also have to do surgery and do the things that nobody likes for the benefit of the patient. So that's it.
Excellent.
That's the difference.
Orlando, I've got the second question for you. Why are root canal treatment teeth toxic?
Well, if we think about God's creation, whatever is physically alive, and that physical life ceases to exist, then it must continue the cycle of life. ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And the only example that I can think of, something that used to be alive physically and is preserved by humans, would be mummies, like in Egypt, Tutankhamun, taxidermia, the great white hunter who wants to have a trophy of the head of a buffalo in his wall, and root canals. So every tooth is in itself an organ. And if you liken it to a body, so that tooth gets the organs removed, or the pulp, the bundle of nerves and arteries and veins, and the lymphatics, and then replaced with toxic materials. So it's like having in your mouth a mummy. And mummies belong to museums nowadays. Our mouths are not cemeteries to have a dead body within them. So when we step outside mainstream medicine, and that's what we do, of course, we acknowledge that we are energetic bodies, and there must be an energetic flow in the body. So the moment you have a dead entity, then you block that chi, that prana, that life force that runs through us. And that's why they should be removed. No other professional would ever consider the remote possibility of leaving something that is dead in the body or that has the potential of dying. Let's take a surgeon. They are busy operating, and if they deem that this incision has compromised the blood flow, they rather cut that piece away than hoping that it will reestablish the blood flow. Because if it dies, then you know the implications. It's necrosis, potentially the death of the patient. But my profession chose to kill teeth and market it as, now you don't have to take your teeth out because you can keep them with a root canal. And I always say that the main promoter, the guy who speaks the most about the toxicity of root canal treated teeth, is a cardiologist, because nobody is to a dentist. So he found in his research a correlation between root canal treated teeth and cardiovascular disease. And then he did retrospective analysis of all the patients that he had operated on. And then indeed, they all had a root canal, 2, 3, 4, any number of root canals. So it is up to 98% correlation between dead teeth, root canal treated teeth, and cardiovascular disease, like the same percentage for breast cancer in women, because men can also get breast cancer, and the root canal treatment of the first molar of the upper jaw on either side. 98% correlation between these two. And if you allow me another minute, I remember about 20 years ago, this lady came to me with breast cancer, and she said, myself and 3 other friends of mine were diagnosed with breast cancer within 6 to 8 months. And all of them chose to go the normal route, okay? And what is the normal route? Mastectomy is very invasive with all the psychological implications that this brings about. And 2 of them, in any case, soon after that. And with her, we just removed mercury fillings, we removed the 1 root canal treated tooth that she had, and she's still around in Kempton Park to tell the story. So yes, that's why we don't want to have root canal treated teeth. Now, technology has advanced significantly to clean teeth better, the canals better. But in my opinion, is not there yet. Now, today we have microscopes, amazing lasers to do a better job. But who has that technology? South Africa, just a few, and they do amazing good root canal treatment, amazingly well-performed root canal treatments. Having said that, I have already extracted many of those amazingly done root canal treatments by the top specialists in this country. When one of my patients says, listen, there is no way I'm going to pull out this tooth, what is the option? I don't do root canals, you better go to a top specialist and have it done. They look amazing, and then sometimes they, in any case, end up with an abscess, and then they acknowledge that they have to remove the tooth, or they comprehend the information and it drops on them because maybe a family member has an undesirable health experience, nothing but an experience. And so they say, oh no, I don't want to go that way, so please take the tooth out. So my job is easier and easier every day, because in the old days I had to explain this that I'm explaining now to most of my patients. Now, at least 90% of my patients come to me because they are sick or because a family member is sick. And once they have explored all the standard modalities and they don't find help, they do some lateral thinking, some research, they learn about these issues, and they come to me straight, please pull out all my root canals. so we save a lot of time in the consultation. Or listen, if I have root canals, please take an X-ray and extract whatever you see. It is very sad that today, 2024, many patients are the dentist, and they are not even informed that they are getting a root canal treatment done. So many patients come to me saying, oh, I specifically asked not to get a mercury filling, and look, I got one. I specifically asked, I don't want root canals, and then they get it. And especially when patients go to a contracted in practice, that the dentist just claims from the medical aid. So they do treatment because they know they will be paid. In a private setting, the dentist will not do treatment for free. So we always quote, we always explain, would you like to have this procedure or not? So many root canals are done without the patient's consent, because even when you request them, they end up with a root canal. It is very sad. So yes, I don't know if that's a question, but
that is crucially important to hear. That message, Orlando, is so important for people to know that there's an alternative, to know that there are people like you around. You know, I don't know if you ever came across, about 10 years ago, a Texan man called Ty Bollinger and his wife Charlene. They did cures for cancer, a quest for cures for cancer. And I came across biological dentistry then. And a similar story and countless stories were shared at the interview of speaking with biological dentists in the USA around what you're speaking to here. And it's 10 years later, and to hear the similar kind of conversation you've just shared is scratching my head, you know. It's like, goodness me, we need to get this information and share it far and wide, simply for people to be informed. Yes. Because I heard about that exposure, should I say, on the biological dentistry and that correlation to disease is, then I wanted, though I didn't have any disease and I didn't have any bad health, I went and found biological dentists here in Cape Town. But I think I'm going to come and fly up to Johannesburg to come and see you, because you sound like a whole new level, and a level that I really resonate with. So, you know, very nicely spoken to. Thank you for giving us that full explanation that I think is really warranted. Yes, carry on.
You know, if you want to embrace a healthy diet, Okay,
Yes, right.
wanna go embracing that healthy diet.
Mm.
So, oh no, I'm eating all my organic veggies and this and that, but I will still have my boerewors, or
Right.
I will my snack of sweeties and
Yes,
toffees.
yes.
Are amazing dentists, some of them good friends of mine, who do aspects of biological dentistry. So yes, some will remove amalgam safely.
Yes, that's it, safely.
That's it. They will still do the root canal, they will still do the metal, ground metal, this or that. Some others do a root canal, but will refer them somewhere else as a routine procedure, or will not do ceramic implants, and they will still use metals. So I think that maybe there is only one other than me that fully embraces the diet as it should be. Okay, fully practices holistically the whole tutti. Just a note on the side.
Amazing. So what happens if a person doesn't do the biological dentistry treatment? What happens if they have got amalgams or they've got, whatever going on? What kinds of light can you shine onto the story so to help people when, yeah, it sounds an obvious question, but I think we need to shine this light.
Look, there are many layers to every
Mm.
answer, okay? Because not everybody receives the end truth. But like anything else in life, what happens if you don't service your car? Nothing. My car is due for a service. I can go to Cape Town and come back. Not a problem. Not a problem. I can have a brand new car and then I just exit and then the engine burns because there was a factory defect. You can tell. But if you are walking or enjoying the mountains on a hike and you have a little stone in your shoe, what do? Some people shake the foot, hoping that it will reaccommodate and you don't have to remove your boots, or you just stop immediately and you do it. And everything that you do or that you fail to do will always have a consequence. So today I had and the X-ray is still on. I had a beautiful young lady and she was told that she needed a root canal, and then she's aware of the problem with the root canal. She said, don't do it. Don't touch me. Leave me alone. Thank you very much. Came for a second opinion. But she has another root canal here in the front tooth. And then she was saying today, I am healthy. I don't have any issues. So I'm very happy with this one here.
Oh, wow.
Second one. So, okay. I always respect, of course, the patient's opinion, the patient's will, okay? And we dance the music they want.
Of course. Yes.
What is going to happen? Well, now we have turbo cancers with a patent, but in the old days, you went through the stages of cancer. Yes. So when somebody is or used to be diagnosed with colon, stomach, pancreas cancer, it was pretty much, buddy, 3 to 6 months of affairs. God bless you. Was nice meeting you. But that didn't start when the patient had the pain that led him to go to the doctor. Yes. That had been in the making for years and years, 10, 15 years. And they were okay for the 10, 15 years. Okay?
Yes.
And, our beautiful men in this country who adore their brides and their meats, no? They consider a chicken the salad. Only when they are hit by cancer, they consider the possibility of eating a broccoli. So why wait?
Yes, beautiful advice.
We don't know if we are going to be alive in 20 years or this evening. So we can only do today, in this moment, what we consider appropriate for our journey. So if I know that I'm going to Cape Town to visit you, so I may choose to pack my bag a couple of days prior, or last minute just quickly rush some clothes in my suitcase, and I get there and I don't have a toothbrush. So we are the makers of our destiny. That is the answer. If you take action, that's what you have the benefit of it. And in the issue of, there are, people now relate to mercury fillings. Yes, remove them. Root canal, yes, remove them. But there is another condition that affects at least 95% of people who has ever had their wisdom teeth removed. And it is osteonecrosis, rotten bone of the jaws.
Wow.
Condition that was described by the father of dentistry, and he made drawings of osteonecrosis of the jaw, I don't know, 200 years ago. And my profession does not even acknowledge that that is a condition. Okay, so I have friends who are the top surgeons of this country say, nonsense, that doesn't exist. And yet, every time I enter these areas of the wisdom teeth and other areas, what I find? Fat like the one that you will find on rump steak. You have bone, but you don't have bone. You have rotten bone. You have frot bone, completely decomposed. So what happens, doctor, if I don't do anything about it? I'm always being asked that question. What if I don't do anything about it? You just don't do anything about it. And whatever happens, happens. And whatever doesn't happen, doesn't happen. I have a theory that, as you well know, having a headache is now considered to be absolutely normal. It's not normal to have a headache, but of marketing of medication so that you can buy it at a petrol station, you can buy aspirin or your whatever you need, your Panados. So it's just normal to have a headache. It's not normal. Now, if you or me, we call our parents or auntie, who is obviously older than us, or not necessarily today. How are you? Oh, I'm very fine. I'm okay. But my arthritis. Oh, I'm going for a hip replacement, but I'm very fine. I'm okay.
Yes.
I don't remember the name of my children, but I'm okay. So if we want to embrace that as our normal,
right,
then do these biological treatments, you are more likely to manifest that reality in a few years. And body has to go through that. You know very well that we experience what we have to experience, and we don't experience what we don't have to experience. But it is only normal that if I have a stone in my shoe, that I will stop, remove it, and continue my journey.
You said, beautiful. It makes me, every time I hear conversations such like this, humanity and the word of awareness, simple awareness. We're not even talking wisdom here. That would be, postgraduate, but just simple awareness. And what you said, consequences to actions, is so powerful, the wording and what you're speaking to here. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to just stop and take note what's going on. I really love what you're speaking to. Thank you, Orlando. James, I don't know if you want to take
Orlando, is it necessary to replace back teeth? Your honest opinion, please.
Let's replace
back teeth.
Okay. The creator of all that is created us with 32 teeth. Why? Because he had nothing to do after he gave us 12 or 14 or 16. So we are supposed to have 5 fingers, 5 toes, 2 arms, 32 teeth. And people they just care about the front teeth. Okay, this is my smile. As long as I have these teeth, is okay. I don't need the other teeth. So, especially, and I understand fully, if funds are limited, where would the patient prefer to spend their money? The answer is obvious. They only want to spend it in the front teeth. But the back teeth are more important than the front teeth for functional reasons. So the name of the front teeth is incisors. That comes from incision, from cutting. So you cut the apple, the banana, and today your pizza or your burger with the front teeth. The eye teeth, the canines and the 2 premolars, a lot of people only have 1 premolar because they were mutilated by a dentist who thought they didn't have enough space in their mouth, and they pull out healthy teeth in their teenage years. And that's another long story. And then with those teeth, canine and premolars, we would do what the lion would do with the neck of the impala, the ripping or the biltong. But the chewing of your banana and your veggies and your steak or your biltong is always at the back. Front teeth were not designed for chewing or for ripping anything. So they don't even have the roots to support that function. So if you don't restore the back teeth, eventually the domino effect will dictate that you will get into trouble with the rest, because the front teeth cannot possibly sustain function long term. Yeah, can get away a few years with that, but there are several consequences for not replacing any tooth. If you lose a tooth, you replace it. If you replace your cell phone, if you lose your cell phone, you will replace it immediately. You can't survive without your cell phone. I'm gonna die. No? You replace your keys, your remote control, and people consider not replacing a tooth. Teeth move around and you create gaps. I use the analogy of the soccer game. If your team gets 1 player red carded, you worry because now you're at a disadvantage. If 2 players get the red card, you are in crisis mode. You want the referee to finish that game quickly because the remaining players have to cover those positions and they will end up injured. They will end up, that will be typical in rugby, because they are doing the job that they are not supposed to do. So the other teeth will always pay the consequences of being left alone.
That makes absolutely sense. The thing is, you can buy the best quality food, all organic, no herbicides, no pesticides, but then you must chew that food properly so that you can absorb all the nutrients from the food. So
because it begins in your hands. We were indoctrinated not to touch our food with our fingers. But digestion starts here with the enzymes of your skin, of your fingers. Okay, you put it in your mouth, and that's where the gut begins.
That's
and then
very interesting concept.
And then you have
the fingers and the food and the enzymes. I take note.
Yes.
Shelley, next one is for you.
Have you got any clients, or have you ever had situations where people say to you, Orlando, take all my teeth out?
Very often.
Really?
Very often. Yes. And
Wow.
sometimes I cannot even understand how they would suggest that, because let's say they are missing 3 or 4 teeth and they have problems with 2 or 3 teeth, and then, it's really better to pull everything out. Sometimes, their mouths can be very, very challenged, where maybe there are not even a single tooth without problems, and then they still ask for the same thing. My perspective is If the tooth is alive, keep it. If the tooth is dead, I will definitely suggest the extraction of the tooth. Because the other analogy I use, if your auntie is sick, you don't kill her. You do whatever you can do to help your auntie. And if all you can do is to just go and visit her and sit by her, or give her a bowl of fruits or a flower, that's what you do, but you don't kill your auntie. So why sacrifice teeth that are otherwise healthy, maybe worn down or whatever the case may be? You respect that life of that particular tooth. It is very different if you have no teeth and you only have 1 or 2 teeth left. So there is really nothing you can do with 1 or 2 teeth left. So in that case, of course, but the intention is to preserve life, respect for life. I'm a vegan for no other reason than I respect life. As simple as that. No other reason but that.
Deep respect. I love your philosophy of teeth that are alive. In my spiritual process, I see everything alive through the teachings of the water is alive, the mountains are alive, the crystals are alive. Yes, I've grown to know this as a truth. I've never taken it to the teeth. Wow, that's a whole new world that's opened up, and I love it.
You are welcome.
Wow, that is next level phenomenal. Thank you, really.
Else. The typical open the mouth, and we will find plaque left, right, and center. Oh, but how come if I brush 10 times a day and I floss 5 times a day and I do all the things? Then, well, it's like a spring cleaning your kitchen. You can leave everything pristine, but if you miss a spot on that corner, you will have spider webs there, okay? So, because we don't respect ourselves to begin with, okay? Very few people truly respect the self or the body. So we don't really take care of it. Oh, the makeup, oh, I'm pretty, oh, my hairstyle, oh, I wonder. But the teeth, nobody sees them. But I use the analogy, I love using analogies. You or anyone as a mother or a nervous father with a baby, and the baby has done number 2. We make sure we clean up to the last speck of dirt. We open the folds on the legs, we open the folds wherever there are folds, and we wipe them clean to perfection. Because we love the baby, we love the child. So I say, go and brush your teeth with love, as if they were your babies. Because otherwise, just think about how you brush your teeth. Upper, lower, left, upper, lower, left, upper, lower, inside. I'm done. 1 minute. What is that?
Exactly.
So make for 30 seconds these 3 teeth, and you never got to touch in another tooth at the back or in the front. So when we're not in the moment doing what we are supposed to do in the moment, oh no, I multitask. Nobody can possibly multitask. Oh, women multitask. No, it's not possible to multitask. Okay, it's not possible. So you focus on whatever you are doing. Chicken a la Facebook. Have you heard that one? A la Facebook, and it's completely burned. So that's the key. Awareness. Okay, I'm going to brush. This is how I do it. I'm going to floss. This is how I do it. That kind of thing.
This is so important. I think, in fact, on that story around multitasking, it's been proven. It was a little research that was done, I think it was Stanford Business School, and they found out that the actual gray matter reduces in its size due to multitasking. So there's no benefit. I love that little bit of nugget of information, but amazing, Orlando. Sorry, I want to just chat with you, but James, there's so many questions coming through. Go for it, James.
Orlando, now, if you brush your teeth with intention and with lots of love, how much time should you spend on brushing your teeth?
Okay. If you need to go to the nearest mall to the nearest supermarket, okay? How long will you allocate to your traveling from your house to the supermarket?
Depending on the traffic.
Are you walking? Are you going by skateboard? Are you going by car? So I recommend technology, a proper sonic toothbrush
Yes.
that vibrates 86,000 times per minute. So literally, if you don't move the brush, you have brushed that particular tooth 86,000 times in a minute, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, wishy-washy. But again, the technology is as good as the one using the technology. So don't ask me about computers. I don't understand software or anything. Okay. So how well do you use your instrument? Okay. Personally, with full awareness, I concentrate in sections of my mouth, and I have this fancy toothbrush that every 30 seconds makes me aware of the 30 seconds that have come by, and I brush the outsides of my teeth towards the cheek, upper and lower. I do 1 minute, then the other half, upper and lower, only the sides towards the cheek and lips. Then the inside in the palate, another minute, and then the lower teeth towards the tongue on the inside, another minute. With awareness, with gratitude for my teeth that after these years, they're still around, okay? With respect and love, like I would my hair with respect and gratitude and love. Okay,
I love the love part.
So that's how it is. Now in the mornings, all of us are rushed to get to work, and so I do at least these 4 minutes with this amazing toothbrush properly used. Okay, and if I take my camera and I show you my teeth, you will not find a speck of tartar. Now I have more time. So I do the same 4 minutes with full awareness. And now I watch a YouTube video while I'm brushing more and more and more. 10, 12, 16 minutes, it depends, okay? Depending on what else is there to do. But I have done my proper brushing for the initial 4 minutes. Some people need more time. Some people need...
What brush are you talking about? What toothbrush?
Sonic technology, in general, there are different brands with sonic technology.
Sonic.
Yeah. Well, I like, for instance, the Swiss toothbrush Curaprox.
Okay.
Curaprox, okay, and they are just over the 3,000 rand mark. That is the one that at the moment. But there are other amazing brushes. There are more expensive brushes. Definitely, I will not choose the one with Bluetooth that I need an app to see if I brush enough left, right, or center. No, I prefer not to, okay? But it needs to do the job, and you have to know how to use it. So if you buy science, you need some training, I guess, because otherwise you will just do the same thing with a fancy toothbrush than what you would do with a manual one.
Right. And the type of toothpastes, generally speaking, without fluoride?
None.
I don't touch anything with fluoride.
But the people think about fluoride like you do. It crystallizes the pineal gland.
Exactly. No,
okay,
exactly.
But it's not fluoride. One of the sad things, you go into a health store,
yes,
and % of what they sell is absolute junk. On any product, I'm not talking about toothpaste now,
right,
are that people think that they pay an extra 100, 200 rand on an item and it's going to be okay. It's definitely not okay. The average toothpaste that you would buy in a supermarket has over 8, 9, 10 toxic chemicals, cancer producing, etc., etc. And then you go to a health store, oh, fluoride free.
Yes.
Acesulfam K, sugar substitute, sucralose, contains titanium dioxide, contains SS, sodium lauryl sulfate. There are so many chemicals there. Again, you know, 1 hour is never enough, 45 minutes never enough to touch the iceberg, you know. But we touch on the microbiome, on the gut, starting here. So we don't like antibiotics. They have a role. We don't discard the antibiotics because they save lives, okay? But you use them when you need them. And now if you use a commercially available mouthwash, if you use any toothpaste, I don't care if it is essential oil, this and that, and organic and all the propolis and stuff, if it kills bacteria, it's doing the job of the antibiotic in my mouth. So I would recommend prebiotics. You buy prebiotics at the health store, and I don't know the taste, okay? Because what you need is to feed the good bacteria so that they are properly settled in your mouth, so there is no room for bad bacteria to go and create colonies. But the moment you have your whatever mouthwash, whatever kills bacteria, then you're killing everything.
That's incredible. Thank you.
So what do you need to brush? A toothbrush.
Orlando, what makes biological materials better than the conventional materials in dental practice?
Well, my friend, what makes organic food better than processed food? You know, nobody likes a dentist. Nobody likes to pay the dentist. So historically, you just wanted to go to the dentist once and pay as little as possible. So all the research in dentistry was geared towards that. Let me give you an affordable material that will last forever. And that's why a mercury-containing filling can easily last 20, 30 or more years. And a white filling, especially in the earlier days, would last a shorter period of time. So the difference is that they don't have the toxic ingredients that the other one has, okay? Or like in the instance of dental implants, the implant is the screw that goes inside the jawbone to replace a missing tooth. I have already forgiven myself for the thousands of metal implants that I gave to my patients once upon a time, but I have exclusively placed ceramic implants since 2014. I started placing them in 2005, but exclusively from 2014. Why? Because before, we didn't have Bluetooth, we didn't have Wi-Fi. What does it have to do with this? In biological dentistry, we remove metals. Therefore, I will not put metals. The moment you have, I don't know, jewelry and bangles and piercings and metals in your body, not only you are changing the resonance of the body, you are also changing the energetic field of the persona of the body. And now you have it implanted in your body in the form of a metal filling, in the form of a porcelain-coated metal crown, in the form of an implant. So you have antennas to attract electromagnetic frequencies. And one of the global pandemics is electromagnetic frequencies, especially now with the weapon of 5G. So before you could hide from 3G and 4G, but now there is nowhere to hide with 5G technology. So you don't want to have antennas to attract these frequencies your way and then get the diseases that electromagnetic frequencies will bring. And as a matter of fact, these electromagnetic frequencies cause you to lose bone around the metal implant. And the profession blames the bone loss to you are not cleaning properly, or the hygiene this or the hygiene that. And many patients say, but I clean and I brush and I do everything that you have asked me to do. And I use the top mouthwash and I use the top toothpaste and I still get into trouble. It's because things are not geared to serve the individual, and there is not enough awareness in any field for that matter, but let's concentrate in the field of dentistry of what anything can do to you. So more, they are free from, as far as science knows today, for instance, a filling material that doesn't have BPA, for instance. I'm sure you, BPA-free bottles, because they are in plastic. So if now you have a plastic filling, a white filling, it contains BPA. So if you have a cup of tea, it releases BPA. And modern materials in dentistry, almost all of them contain fluoride. And the chemistry is such that for as long as the material is in your mouth, it will continue to release fluoride until you die.
Yeah, that's the truth. Thank you, Orlando. Shelley, next question is for you.
Lost in action.
Forgive me, thank you. When a patient comes to you, Orlando, who is, let's say, compromised from other dentists, and comes and asks you for assistance as a biological dentist, is there a path of healing for them? Can they heal from what's been done to them with you?
Of course, yes. It's an absolute yes.
Wonderful.
But there is something very important. You can take the horse to the water, or the horse to drink the water. It is absolutely essential for any health professional, for any healer of any walk of life, to realize that many patients will come to you just to prove that they cannot be healed.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Because most people benefit more from the disease than the absence of it in their minds, okay? If you have a condition, your children call you more often, your spouse will be perhaps more sympathetic. So there is always a lot of gain for the ego mind when you are the victim. So you don't want to be healed. And it is a dance. It is a dance. And then if an individual is happy to let go of everything that contributed to the present condition, they are more likely to heal. Because it's not that Dr. Peters messed me up. Almost everybody will phrase it in that way. Oh no, I am like this because all my dentists have been terrible. Oh, this dentist damaged the one tooth and the other dentist damaged the other tooth. But we recognize that I'm the one who perhaps never flossed when growing up, or never brushed when the parents say, go and brush. Maybe they just swallow some pepperminty toothpaste. Yes, ma'am, I brush. And another tooth killer, without a doubt, is clenching and grinding, gnashing of teeth.
Right.
It's a tooth killer. The teeth that I'm missing in my mouth, I clench them to death once upon a time. Okay? So what is my role? As we know, we are the masters of our destiny. You know, we create everything. We create everything. So what am I prepared to let go?
Right.
I want this and that, but I'm not going to stop smoking. Okay, my friend, good for you. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
So lifestyle changes are essential, especially with my patients who, as I mentioned, want to be healthy, want to recover health or maintain health. So then it's important to identify what doesn't align with health, and then do it.
I've often asked people who come to me, who are you without this condition? Would you like to find that out?
Precisely.
No. And it's often it's a concept that has never been entertained because they've been enwrapped in that identification, thinking that's who they are. No, that's what you're experiencing, and you can choose again if you want.
Absolutely.
Beautiful thing.
You want.
James?
Orlando, I didn't know that you have graphene oxide in anesthetics. So that's for me a very interesting one. So, I'm so freaking petrified when I go to the dentist, so what other solutions can be offered without anesthetics that
Well,
contains graphene?
what is graphene oxide? Most people don't even know what is graphene oxide, okay? Let's call it for now, it is a heavy metal, okay? That has been intentionally, with evil intentions, placed in our existence. So since we know that it is one of the ingredients of the famous inoculation, it is a receptor. It is a receptor for microwaves, like the ones of your microwave oven or like the ones from 5G technology. Because 5G, before it was in the form that everybody knows it today, it was in the military, like almost everything. It was in the military as a weapon that can be regulated and can be increased up to a level for you to download a movie in 10 seconds. Yes, I want 5G. Or it can be increased to a degree that it can kill people like doom on flies. If we are loaded with graphene oxide and we are addicted to our phones and we are addicted to our technologies, we are in more trouble. But another topic altogether, the one of 5G, that I'm not going to get into that one. But graphene oxide, a lot of patients are saying, oh, but I learned that now it is in anesthetics. In the beginning, I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? I am going to become a vaccinator. Okay? And perhaps today I am. So I had all my local the anesthetics tested. They all came free from graphene oxide. And then I stocked myself up with the lot numbers of what I already had. And I got plenty. Needless to say, by now, so many years after the greatest crime against humanity, then it's finished. But in oxide today, you will find it almost everywhere. Recently, I had a patient. I'm very blessed that I have patients. I don't have patients from my immediate neighborhood. They all fly, they all drive 8 hours to come and see me. So these patients from, forgive my pronunciation, Freiheit, far away, far away, they are farmers. And then in the issue of graphene oxide, don't worry, doctor. My boreholes for the irrigation of my crops are full of graphene oxide because our lands in South Africa, we are blessed that in South Africa, we don't get sprayed from airplanes like it happens in Europe and in the United States. Every single day, dozens upon dozens, hundreds at the end of the day of chemtrails. But in South Africa, they do spray rural areas. So they spray with aluminum, with barium, with graphene oxide. So you find that even in water, you find graphene oxide in the normal food that the average person will buy in the average supermarket. They contain graphene oxide. You find it in a lot of over-the-counter medication. So the name of the game today is detox, detox, detox.
Absolutely.
There are other tricks that those who are aware of the issue of graphene oxide, we have learned online, and it was through a group of Spanish dentists. And I have implemented that in my office, of course, is to warm up the anesthetic. So I have right behind me a device to warm up materials, and the compute of anesthetic fits beautifully on my warmer. Otherwise, the nurse put them in the pocket for a while and they get warm. And then with a magnet, you just move the vial and you push the metals to one end, and then we inject only 3/4 of the vial and leaving the leftover. Well, we have to use more anesthetic, and that's what we do as an extra. But it is so easy today to go online and buy liposomic glutathione. And then you have your liposomic glutathione, and you have the entire bottle for yourself, and that will rid you of the graphene oxide for that month at least. And then you breathe and you get toxic again, and then continue detoxing.
With the awareness.
Very interesting.
And so important that you address detox. And I think about 8 years ago, it was number 3 on the list of overall health. I think it's number 1 right now, everywhere. Number 1, detox, as you said, amazing. An interesting question here.
Very interesting. Shelley, the very last question for you.
And it is this question that I believe you get asked a lot, Orlando. What religion are you? Do you really get asked that?
Well, all the time.
Goodness me.
Okay. They will ask my receptionist,
yes.
Oh, this guy is different, what religion is he? They ask that question. Or some of them ask me, hey, but are you sure you're a dentist? I thought you were a psychologist, and things like that. We are, and there's nothing wrong with anything.
No.
Some of us say that there is nothing wrong with anything. Okay? And we immensely honor and respect the path that everyone has chosen to walk. Okay? Then some people could feel uncomfortable. If you don't reflect my beliefs, then I prefer to set you aside. Okay? Which is sad, because anyone who sees him or herself as a God-loving individual should have the ability of embracing everything in existence. Everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly. But sadly, the conditioning of our minds has, over millennia, that is, not in the last decades, over millennia, is to be so afraid about everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Hey, I have a surprise for you. Let's go for dinner. What restaurant? What? At what time? Oh, instead of embracing it fully and enjoying it. I was born Catholic because my family was Catholic. Should I have been born to a Muslim family? I would have been Muslim. So one of my beautiful teachers calls that an accident of birth. I don't believe it to be an accident because I believe that one chooses that to perfection.
Absolutely.
So go through whatever conditioning there is, and then our mind, when doesn't want to think beyond the little walls, because we all think that we all hold the truth. And then we all have the arrogance, and this is with respect, because I was one of the most arrogant individuals that I ever met in my life, and I knew myself very well. That we think that what we believe is the absolute truth, and we don't make room for the rest. So one can only say that we have done any growth of some kind when we can get rid of that box that is containing us. And then we enjoy that perceived freedom for a short while until we realize that we are actually within another bigger box.
Yes.
And you, if you have the will, you break it. Wow, this is it. I know everything there is to know. I have embraced everything. Therefore, you are wrong. Because you have not done what I have done. And I know, as a matter of fact, I believe in very little things, in very few things, because a belief is an admission of ignorance, that you have to assume that something is so because somebody told you, or because you went through a beautiful experience that led you to believe that this is the truth. So I don't know how many more layers of the onion we have to remove, how many, I don't know, the Russian doll effect. You open the one, there's another one.
Yes.
That's when you go within.
Yes.
And then when you go out, is boxes and boxes and boxes. So I have definitely reached the conclusion that I cannot possibly limit God. So I put God in a container. And what organized religions have attempted to do. This is it. Don't go beyond that because that is naughty of you. And then everybody's afraid because, oh, what if I step out of this box? So the limited human mind is boxing God.
Yes.
As you are boxed yourself. Oh, okay. All right. So I want God to be magnificent, to be free, to be infinite. And for that, I have to allow myself to open my mind, to free God from my perceptions and normally my misconceptions. So now God is truly free to work in me.
Magnificent.
So I don't know, whatever you read, whatever you want to follow, as long as you're not afraid of anything. And having said that, I have my fears. I have not broken through all the barriers, all the boxes. And that is for me, dentistry for a lifetime has been, well, not a lifetime, in the last 20 years has been my hobby. Because it's my hobby. And it fed me, it fed my kids, and it still feeds them because they eat a lot. Okay. But my dedication and my passion and my commitment is to one day, while I'm still utilizing this body, to be the full expression of what I was born to be. So, and I that if I self as limited by myself or anyone. So the answer is for those who will ever meet me, forgive me for not belonging to your religion, and I don't know what your religion is. But if you look at the Latin meaning of the word religion, ligare, like a ligament, your body, ligare, to bind. And when you do it more than once, you are redoing it.
Orlando,
I'm afraid.
in my eyes, you are the pioneer for biological dentistry in South Africa. And Shelley and myself have supported biological dentistry as long as I can remember. So we will promote your work and biological dentistry until we drop dead in this lifetime. Thank you for sharing your wisdom.
To do that, because you will be in these bodies for many, many more years, because you are fulfilling an important role, which is raising consciousness.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me what's going to happen with my teeth in my next lifetime.
Well, you will get a new set.
No. I'm coming to see you in this lifetime. I'm getting my teeth sorted out with you, Orlando. I'm coming to visit you. James, you come with me. We both go and visit Orlando.
Absolutely. Shelley, can you thank Orlando, please?
Orlando, I just want to say the privilege of working with you today in this exploration of consciousness and opening the story of awareness. And I love the idea not only of the teeth being alive, but truly to love ourselves enough to take care of ourselves. And it's really brought some beautiful awareness and shifts for me right now in our chat today. I think it helps us to start looking at things and being present with ourselves and recognizing that the divine does work through every one of us if we can truly see ourselves as sacred, see ourselves as enough, which we are because we come from the source, and respect every aspect that we have in our body, of which the teeth are absolutely an integral part. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to you today. You are an absolute joy to my soul, to my heart, and to my mind. And I am so deeply grateful that you graced your presence with us today and helped us learn more, and that we've come to connect now. And from here, only beauty is going to unfold. I assure you, I am really moved. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you to you.
And all I can say, ditto, I absolutely agree. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.